Hello everyone and welcome to our opposition preview. I'm joined by Joe from the TurfCast Podcast. Link to their channel in below. You want to go check out their channel today. They've been busy. Joe, I'm not even going to ask how you are because I think I'm going to pick it up in the next 5 minutes or something. But let's go straight into the big news. Sean Dyche sacked. What are you saying?
I'm shocked. I feel like I should be grieving. You know what I mean? I feel like I should be donning a black suit and going to crematorium and just laying some flowers down. It's just ludicrous. I do not understand what the thinking is. There's 8 games left this season. What can a new manager do if he came in now? If he came in right now, he's not going to come in now. So obviously, when we play you on Sunday, it's probably going to be. I've heard rumours it's going to be Ben Mee standing in. What? So what is that going to achieve? It might unify the dressing room. I'm not saying Dyche had lost the dressing room, although I think there were signs there that maybe he had. But it might unify the dressing room because everybody loves Ben Mee. He's the captain, so they all respect him. So it might do that. But is Ben Mee a tactical genius? I'm not so sure. Well, Dyche wasn't anyway, so we're still in the same boat with that. But yeah, my ultimate emotion, mate, is just shock and just shocked and gutted because it should not have ended like this. No way.
Well, you're obviously surprised. Do you think it's the right decision at all, or do you think while it's shocking, it's also ludicrous? Or
for me, all right, this season has been poor. We were sleepwalking to relegation with him in charge. The defeat against Norwich was unacceptable. And there's been so many games this season where we just haven't shown up, and that is on Dyche. There's been a lot of incorrect team selections this season. That is on Dyche. I just think it had gone stale a little bit. But, you know, there's 10 players out of contract in the summer. If I wanted anybody to splash a bit of cash in, not that we have cash, but, you know, in comparison to the rest of the Championship, we probably do, just because we've been in the Premier League so long. It would have, if I wanted anybody to oversee that, it'd have been Dyche. Look at the last time we went down. We had to sell Danny Ings, Kieran Trippier. He brings in Matty Lowton and Andre Gray, who are both fantastic servants for the club. And, you know, and he has this thing about playing negative football. And don't get me wrong, in the Premier League, the football's not been great. But in the Championship, he doesn't play that way. He only plays a certain way in the Premier League because he knows you have to play a certain way or else you're just going to get battered every week. So I would have enjoyed to see him rebuild the side, if I'm being honest, in the Championship. And for me, his record speaks for itself. Look at the last 2 seasons we've had in the Championship. We've lost 10 games over them 2 seasons, so 5 a season. The last season, we went 23 games undefeated. So, and then we went on to win the league. So who else is better not in stats base than Sean Dyche to have us in the Premier League, Championship, sorry. Nobody. I don't understand who they can now bring in that will give us a better chance of going up again next season. Because I think this season's written off, if I'm honest with you. I think that has been part of the decision. I think they're writing it off and getting ready for next season. But if that is the case, then that just makes it a bad decision again. Because surely you'd want Dyche in charge. It's honestly, it don't make any sense. That the owners are still quite new. Only been here a year and a half, and this is their first football club. So maybe we're seeing, you know, a bit of a knee-jerk reaction where they've got something wrong. But yeah, it's I can't get my head around it. There's been some fans saying right decision, wrong time. Don't necessarily agree with that. I think Sean Dyche had enough credit in the bank to stay until minimum Christmas. Even if we went down and we were playing poor and we were 12th in October, I'd have gone, Sean, you've got till Christmas to turn this around. And if, you know, we dropped down to 14th or we weren't fighting as well up the league in the Championship by Christmas, then it'd have been right. Yeah, come on, we need to change of direction. But his record in the Championship speaks for itself. He should have had enough credit in the bank. But yeah, it's a hard one to get my head around, if I'm honest.
Yeah, so picking up what you're saying there, and you were resigned to relegation anyway, but you also had confidence that Sean Dyche would be the man to get you back up again in the Premier League. Is that fair to say that's where you were at yesterday, I guess?
Yeah.
So just what you're saying again about your owners and that, do you think perhaps the owners haven't been too keen on Dyche from day one? But it would have been, when they came in last season, it would have been very difficult for them to get rid of Sean Dyche because of the credit he's got with the Burnley fans. Not just Burnley fans as well, the neutrals as well. I think there's a lot of admiration in the Premier League in general towards the job that Sean Dyche has done at Burnley. Many feel that he's possibly had you punching above your weight to some extent by remaining in the Premier League for so long. So do you think the owners just couldn't get rid of him, and this is the first time they've really been presented with an opportunity where it's perhaps acceptable to sack Sean Dyche and, I guess, throw a bit of a curveball and try and get someone in for the 7 games once you've played West Ham and try and stay in the Premier League?
Potentially, all I can go off is what they've been saying. They've just been giving Dyche loads, and actually, probably not. Actually, I can probably dispute that in the fact that they gave him a 4-year contract last year. So if that was the case, then they wouldn't have done that, would they? So I was just going to agree with you in a way, but then I remembered that they gave him a 4-year contract on 125 grand a week. The reports are, which is more. Doesn't that sound not a lot to a West Ham fan? But that's more than anyone's ever been on at Burnley Football Club. He earns now more than any player. And now he's had that contract for 1 year, and now we've got to pay him out for. Well, I know. Obviously, you don't have to pay it all out. They'll come to an agreement, but maybe 2 years of it, a year and a half of it. That's a lot of money. That might just cost us 10 million quid. So they did put all their eggs in the Sean Dyche basket, but now for whatever reason they've taken them all out.
Do you think it's difficult to say because obviously at the minute your manager list going into the Sunday game, and like you said, it sounds like Ben Mee and one or two of the coaches that have remained there are going to be in charge. Yeah. But do you have any hope of staying up as a fan now? It feels like you're already resigned to it, but now with Sean Dyche not there, you got any sort of glimmer of hope that you might get someone, even if it, but dare I say, even possibly someone like Allardyce who might just have you.
Not for me. I was looking at the fixture list, and even though we lost against Norwich, and even though we didn't turn up against Leeds, Newcastle, all these other big games, Brentford, there was still a little bit of hope that we get a big win against West Ham because you boys have looked tired in the Premier League. You were fantastic yesterday. Sorry, on Thursday if you're putting this out later. But you have looked tired in the Premier League, and your focus is now going to be, in my opinion, 95%. All right, you can still get 6 and stuff, but 95% on the Europa League, and that's understandable. So I was thinking we could get a win here. These are tired, and that would have turned the season around. But no, I think this is the final nail in the Premier League coffin for us. I just don't understand what Ben Mee is going to do. Like, I don't understand what all these random coaches that that they've never managed before are going to do. Like, if we had somebody lined up and it's like, okay, we've sacked Sean, here's another statement straight away. Nuno Espirito Santo's coming in. Bit ambitious, I know, but you know what I mean? Somebody like that. Then it'd been different. But yeah, I think they've sacked him. I hope they prove me wrong. And, by the time we finish this recording, there's a new manager in place. So by the time you put it out, there's a new manager in place. But I just don't see that they're going to be that savvy to have somebody in place already, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I'm surprised you haven't got one, to be honest with you. When a sacking like this happens, it's usually because there's someone else lined up ready to come in straight away. And I've looked at your fixture lists as well, and you've got a couple of good games on the horizon. You've got Watford and Southampton who are bang out of form at the minute. You've got them coming up. And obviously the last game of the season, you've got Newcastle as well. So you've got some winnable fixtures in there. And I don't think you need to win that many to overtake Everton. I'm aware there's a 4-point gap there, but I didn't think you were completely out of it. Go by the players in your squad, and I know it's difficult really, but is there any players that is in form or is in good form going into Sunday, trying to get away from the managerial thing and taking a look at Sunday in your playing team, if you like?
Just Tarky, really. Tarky's been playing well. Pope's been playing well. Going forward, towards the last 5 or 6 games, we haven't been good enough. We were okay against Everton, but that was just they made mistakes, Everton. So I just think it was more that side of things. So yeah, the last few games, we haven't been very good. If I'm being honest with you, Everton, we won that one, but like I said, it was more how poor they were rather than how good we were. I don't know if you've seen the goals. That last one against Godfrey, that we scored was just it was a mistake by Pickford to kick out in the first place, and a mistake by Godfrey. It was just poor or from them all the way around. So we haven't been good enough.
So right, Sunday then. Difficult one for you. Prior to Sean Dyche sacking, how were you feeling for Sunday?
Confident isn't the right word, but I was looking at this one and thinking maybe West Ham will be tired. If you play to your full ability, you will put us to the sword quite comfortably and quite easily, I think. But I think you will have an eye on the Europa League now because who've you got? Is it Frankfurt in the semi-final? In my opinion, that's winnable. I think you can do that. I think now Barcelona are out. I think you are. I don't know if you are the bookies' favourites, but I think in my head you are the favourites. You and Rangers in the final, that would be perfect. I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't really care who won in that one. But I'd love. I'm a bit gutted that you didn't get to play Barcelona. I will be honest. I'm gutted. I'd love to see you boys at the Nou Camp, but it is what it is. You've probably got to be happier in a way that you might get through to the final now. So confident is not the word, but I was looking at it thinking we could pull off a shock here because these boys are going to be A, tired because you've just played in France, and then B, they're not going to focus on the Premier League. So yeah, but now I'm not sure. It depends. Like I said, if Ben Mee comes in, I can't believe I'm saying if Ben Mee comes in. It's such a weird thing to say. If Ben Mee comes in and unifies the dressing room, then who knows?
But surely so, right? surely if anyone's going to unify the dressing room, it is Ben Meath, though, right? It's got to be. If you said to me, David Moyes has left West Ham, Martin Noble's in charge of Sunday, I think that's all right. Martin Noble will have this group of lads together.
Yeah, I guess so.
He knows their strengths and their weaknesses.
It just feels weird. Like Ben Meath, like if he wasn't injured, he'd be playing. You know what I mean? But now all of a sudden he's going to be in his suit on the touchline. It's weird. It doesn't make any sense. Like I don't know. It's a strange one. I'm struggling to get my head around it still. But yeah, hopefully he can. I'm not so sure, but yeah, we'll see.
I always ask for a score prediction, but this is the worst ever time I've ever asked someone for a score prediction. But for the sake of continuity, because at least West Ham have got some, you might not have some.
Yeah.
But can I get any final thoughts ahead of the game from yourself and your score prediction, please?
Final thoughts are, obviously, the attention now for us isn't going to be on this game. The attention now for us is going to be on, Ben Mee and all this sort of thing and the managerial circus. I still think, what, I were gonna be a bit cheeky and predict sort of like a 1-0 Burnley win if Dyche would have still been here when we were discussing doing this yesterday. But not for me. I think probably you'll see a weakness in us, even if you are tired. I think even if you rest a few players, I think you can beat us. So I'm going to go 2-0 West Ham, to be honest. But yeah, it's a game that I was looking forward to, but not anymore. I might even go to Trafford Centre, which is obviously the local shopping centre. I might go there instead of watching it. We'll see. I'm glad I ain't got tickets anyway.
Well, what I will say, though, and I think I speak for a lot of West Ham fans when I say this, I genuinely wish Burnley the best of luck for the rest of the season, and we'd like to see you stay up. And I think a lot of us are shocked ahead of Sunday. There's also it's given a bit of a fear factor for West Ham fans, though, because of this whole
I can imagine
manager bounce thing. It's like we knew what we were getting before, and now it's sort of like a bit like you. What's Burnley going to do on Sunday? We don't know. So that uncertainty, it's probably installed a little bit of fear among the West Ham fan base. But anyway, Joe, thank you very much. And you guys at home, if you enjoyed this video, drop a like on it, subscribe to the channel. I'll be doing a video with Joe for their channel as well. I'll put the link in the description below and be up on your screen in just a minute as well. So go check that out. Show a little bit of love to Joe. And Joe, thank you very much.
Thanks for having me, mate.